Hi and welcome back everyone. In this video I'm going to take you through this little sample video I've done of where I've cloned myself and cloned myself 3 times over in the same location. So let's have a quick look at the video and then look at how we achieve it. Okay, so there you have it. So first thing I'm going to do is pick that completed video and move it over and then get the raw footage that I've shot and bring it to the beginning of the timeline. Now in this demo we won't be doing the sound effects and the music, as interesting as that sounded. Okay, so let's have a look at the raw footage first off. So what I've done is I've locked my camera on a tripod and shot this classroom space. I've let the camera, I'll play this back, I've let the camera run for, I've got to mute the audio here, so I've let the camera run for a few seconds before I walked in. I'll just take that back and show you again. So there you go, it's playing back, camera runs for a while. I've got the open space first, you'll see why I've done that in a minute. So now I've come in and set at the first position, and I pull out the iPad and I'll start typing on the iPad. Okay, so I'm just going to fast forward this bit a little bit. So there you go, I'm typing on the iPad, and then I turn around and wave to where I know I'm going to position myself, and I've decided that I'm going to position myself here and over here. So I'm just waving in that general direction, and you'll also notice as soon as I wave, I've added a little marker on the timeline here, not on the timeline, on the clip itself. How you add a marker on a clip is you go to any particular point in a clip, make sure the clip is selected, and then hit the letter M. That adds a little marker there, as you can see. If the clip's not selected, like so, and you do hit an M, it adds a marker on the timeline as opposed to a marker on the clip. Okay, I'm going to undo that. Right, so there you go. I've waved back to myself there, so then I continue typing, and then I get up and I move to the second position there, and I start reading. And that's pretty much what I do, and I'll fast forward just a little bit, and you can see that I eventually wave back. Okay, so that's me waving back to where I know the first guy was, and you can see that I've added a marker there as well. You'll see why I've added markers in a little while. So then I'll fast forward, I do my little bit there, and then I move to position number 3, and I'm pretending to be on a call there, and I'll keep going forward, and you'll find that I'll also wave back from there. So that is obviously in response to the wave from the person over here, and I've added another marker there at the point of waving. So that continues. I do a little bit more acting there, and that's the end of the clip, and I finished recording there. Alright, so let's have a quick look at how we do this. So the first thing I want to do is grab that bit of footage where I'm not on screen. So I'm going to go back. Yep, that's it, I'm off screen. Zoom in a little bit here, grab this cutting tool, hit the letter C, grab the cutting tool, cut that there, grab my selection tool, and I'm actually going to delete the audio to begin with, otherwise this is going to get in the way. Hold down the Alt key, lasso and pick the audio, and hit the delete key. Righty, so now I'll open up that track, we'll grab that filler and move it up here. Okay, somewhere here, so we'll have a little bit of empty screen, and then bang, I'll pop in there. So rather than just walking in, I'm going to trim this up to the point where I am typing on the iPad, which is about there. Let's move that forward here. We'll open that track up as well so that you can see clearly what's going on. So there's the empty space, and there you go, I appear there suddenly. So to make that appearance a bit more smoother, I'll just pick that point and do the Control D just to get a dissolve, and I'll reduce the duration of the dissolve like so. If you have a look at that, there you go, I appear and type, and I'm about to wave. So that's the wave point. So what I'll do now is I will continue, or rather scrub the video till I come to the point where I'm at the second spot, which is somewhere here, and there's the wave marked there where I wave back. So I'll come somewhere here where I'm reading the newspaper, chop this somewhere here, go back to my selection tool, grab that guy and drag him all the way back, and maybe place him somewhere there. Open that clip. Now in the first position I've waved back here, or rather looked back and waved at this point, and ideally I'd want this marker to more or less synchronize with this marker, or appear just a bit after this marker. So what I'll do is I'll trim this area a little bit, move this forward a bit more maybe. So there you go. So for example, if I was to wave here, I'd be waving back here at this point. Now what I'll do is I'll just trim this a little more so that we have empty space here. First person appears here, second person appears there. Now this is where the crop starts to, or rather the crop needs to be applied, because as you can see, while the first person is visible here, as soon as that next layer of video kicks in, it cuts that person out. So what I'll do is I'll come over to my effects tab and quickly type in crop, grab the effect from there and drag it onto that topmost layer, and I will now come to my effects control tab and crop from the left so that the guy there is going to be visible from that layer below there. So left, crop, and there you go. Person's visible, and that's fine. I'll just add a dissolve here as well. Shorten the dissolve to match the earlier one, and let's have a look and see how that works. There you go, and there you go again. Alrighty, so now we need to add the third layer. Push this down so that we can see what we're doing. Let's run along over here and find, oh, so there's the third position right here. So come there, and maybe we'll pick up the action from about somewhere here. Grab that, get my selection tool, move all the way back over here, maybe somewhere there, open up that track. We need that to sort of synchronize with these two, so I'll pull that forward a bit more maybe. Yep, maybe somewhere there. So he waves back, and he waves back. You can decide how you synchronize those three. Trim this in a bit more and add a dissolve. No, before I add the dissolve, I'll add the crop there, so I'll show you what's happening now. So first person appears fine, second person appears fine, but the third layer has no crop, so it immediately cuts the person there. So what we've got to do is make sure that the crop is adjusted on this layer as well. Now we don't have to add a crop effect to this layer because we added it to this layer, and at that time this piece of video that I've just pulled up here was initially, or rather was part of this video, where I went to the end of that and cut that bit off and then brought it on top here. So the crop effect remains on this particular piece of video if you have a look. So there you go, that video is selected. If you come up to your effect controls, you'll see that the crop effect is there, and there's that bit of crop I did for that layer of video, and it is obviously still on that clip as well. So all I need to do is adjust those values so that it basically reveals or rather crops away that bit of the screen. So let's do that now quickly, where I will simply increase that left crop value to reveal person number 2 and stop somewhere there maybe, and there you go. So we have all 3 clones on screen. Add a dissolve there, and Kevin's your uncle right here. So let's have a quick look at that. Here we go, and visible, visible, visible. Right, so now I've applied exactly the same sort of editing method in reverse to get the guys to disappear. Obviously you can make any layer or any person disappear at any given time. Just one thing to note though is that you may need to fix the crop when the person disappears. So for example, let's imagine the topmost layer, which is this guy, decides to disappear. Right, that's fine because the layer below has that bit of screen there. So you may need to extend your crops or the area of your crops, or reduce the area of your crops depending on which person leaves the screen first. If they were all to leave the screen together, there would be no dramas whatsoever. So let's see what that would look like. Could come over there, add a dissolve, and add a dissolve. There you go. Oops, where's the first guy? What happened? Oh, so I've walked off, so which means I can't have it up to that level. The longest we can have it is up to about there. So there you go. That is how you achieve that. I know now that or rather maybe you can see it too while I'm playing it back here on the screen. You see those sort of little separator lines, but when you export the video you won't see those separator lines, or you shouldn't be seeing them anyway. Well, I hope that helped.